Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. We're going to be taking a look at a few metrics for Bitcoin. We're going to discuss whether we're in a bull market still or not, because a lot of people seem to be very upset with the way the markets have been performing, and it's understandable. But if you've been in the markets for 2 to 3 years, you probably know how things work around here, and you probably know that not everything is going to play out the way we want it to. Now, let's see. Eagle from Adrian Santos. We're going to take a look at Eagle, my friend. Another Eagle request. We'll take a look at Eagle. In the meantime, feel free to start sending in your altcoin requests. And of course, if you haven't checked out the Patreon, feel free to do that. The link is down below in the description. You get access to around 500 or 600 posts with low cap gems, exclusive podcasts, technical analysis, trade alerts, all that stuff that we share on Patreon. Now, quickly taking a look at what Bitcoin is doing. Let's take a look at the chart. That's the wrong chart. Okay, so on the monthly chart, we're doing okay, as well as the total crypto market cap is pretty much doing the exact same thing. We're above the 20 EMA, and we're still in an uptrend on the monthly chart. As you can see, once the 20 EMA is lost, that is a very, very negative signal. We had that happen back in October, November 2018. Of course, this was after we peaked in December 2017. So you might be in a bear market and you don't know it at the time because you're still above the 20 EMA. And after a few months, of course, in October, almost a year later, you dumped below the 20 EMA. So essentially, this bear market was a year long, but you only could have confirmed it via the 20 EMA on the monthly chart in November 2018, which still wasn't a bad time because after that, you had a really good accumulating season over here towards the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019. Then we had the COVID crash here. Of course, that caused a massive correction. But for the most part, you stay above the 20 EMA when you're in a bull market. The total crypto market cap is the exact same, pretty much duplicate of this chart. We're looking for that wave 5 from the bottom of this wave 4. Hopefully, this has played out. In a worst case scenario, it is possible we're going to wick below the 20 EMA just briefly, kind of like we did over here back in December 2018 and over here in March 2020. So I would set up some buy limit orders if you're looking to get into Bitcoin. And any altcoins in general, I recommend setting up buy limit orders in advance. We have this massive resistance block above us that we've retested since July 3 times already, since July 2021. So actually, that was even April 2021. So we have 1, 2, and then 3 over here. And we got rejected every single time. So hopefully with this next bounce, we're going to be able to break above that. Because the way it plays out, if you keep running into the same resistance area and you keep having retracements from that area, it's possible you're going to get a deeper retracement every single time. So here, we ran into that area, had a retracement, another run into that exact same resistance block. This time the correction was much deeper. On the third time, we got rejected as well. We'll see how deep this goes. The reason that I don't think we're going to be going deeper than this correction is because this is post bull run and this is mid bull run. So that is why I don't think we are in a bear market. I don't think, because there's nothing on the chart that shows us we're in a bear market. If we take a look at a few indicators here that I wanted to share with you, the first one being the Bitcoin rich list. So you can go to bitinfocharts.com and just go to the rich list over here, select Bitcoin rich list, and you can go through the entire list here. You can open up their wallets, you can see the transactions, you can see what's going on with their wallets. And what we can see is for the past 7 to 30 days, most of them have been accumulating. For example, the top 3 wallet here acquired 1,500 Bitcoin in the last 30 days. The top 8 wallet acquired approximately 9,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days. Then we have this one number 10 acquired around 8,000 Bitcoin. Some of them are selling. That is true. But we have to understand when we see a minus on, a whale account like this, sometimes what happens is they want to transfer the Bitcoin from one wallet or from one cold storage into a different one. That's something to keep in mind. Yeah, just go through this entire thing. You'll be able to see that the sentiment among the whales is very, very clear. We can see that they're buying the dip while the masses are in fear. Okay, apologies about that. Let's see if we have any comments here. Need your heads up on Moonriver. I see the comments, guys. We're going to take a look at the low caps and your requests. I'm doing good. How are you, my friend? How are you? And we'll take a look at Theta. Yes. So this is the first thing that I wanted to show you, is the fact that the whales are accumulating. The second thing is, if we go to the Bitcoin rainbow price chart, then we can clearly see that we are in what's called basically a fire sale right now. That's something to understand. Every single time we went down into that area, we had a move to the upside. Now, this was a prolonged period of time. To be specific, this was from July 2015 all the way up to June 2000, or rather March 2017. And we have a similar situation over here. However, this time around, we did dip into the purple area, which is Bitcoin is dead, which we haven't done historically previously on this chart. And that's not an issue because we recovered from there already. And this is what happens after a halving. Yes, the previous halvings did not see much of a sell-off like we did over here, but the previous halvings did not print a new all-time high before the actual halving, if you know what I mean. Because here in 2024, we managed to print a new all-time high for Bitcoin before the actual halving. The opposite happens, or the opposite happened the previous few halvings. So that's why this is a bit of a unique cycle here. And all of them are unique in their own ways, but you can see that all of them have had some sort of a retracement after the halving took place. And in our case right now, it is taking a little bit longer, but if you take a look at what happens afterwards, every single time we have a massive move to the upside. So sometimes it takes a bit longer, sometimes it plays out pretty quickly. So this is something that you want to take a look at as well. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to show you is a few Twitter posts here that have some interesting information. So first of all, what these guys are doing here, and this is coming from Titan of Crypto at Washigorira. I'm not sure if I spelled that correctly. But you can see we have a ceiling that we haven't really broken above. And the ceiling is essentially the previous bull market top. And every single time we break above it, we have an impulsive move to the upside that takes us to the next all-time high. And we don't expect the same percentage in terms of gains, but in terms of dollar value, I would be expecting something around $120,000. So if we take a look at this chart, so what we did over here, if we go to the weekly, we took the bottom from November 2022 and we took the all-time high from November 2021. And you can see that our 1.272 is sitting at $93,000. We have our 1.414 sitting at $113,000, and we have the 1.618 sitting at $150,000. Are we going to get to the 1.618? That is to be seen. In the previous cycles, we did at least get to the 1.618 in 2017, or rather in 2013. We even got to the 2.272, I believe. But the 1.618 has always been met within the previous bull markets. Things do change over time, of course. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So are we going to get to the 1.618, or is it going to be a move, to only $120,000, $130,000? That is also a possibility. But what is for certain is that we need to be taking profits along the way, because if you are planning to catch the absolute top, then my warning to you is that you're definitely not going, 99% sure you're not going to be able to catch the absolute top, because when people try to do that, they end up sitting through the bear market correction thinking that this is just a retracement within a bull market, and then they get another correction on top of that, and then they realize they're in a bear market, but it's too late. Obviously, it's too late to do anything at that point. So make sure you're taking profits. Make sure you have your strategy set up in advance. For example, on Patreon, we have exit strategy videos for lots of different altcoins that I'm holding and some altcoins that I'm not holding, but my patrons are. So we're trying to prepare for the bull market in the best possible way we can. And then obviously we'll just see what the markets present us with and we'll react accordingly. The other metric that I want to show you here, if we go to, and this is coming from Rect Capital, at Rect Capital on Twitter, or X if you want to use the new name. So what we have here is we have the historic charts, or a table of every single month from 2013 to 2024. And they've outlined October, November, and December. For the most part, September is a bearish month, as you can see. We've been only bullish 3 times in 2015, 2016, and 2023 is when we closed with a 3.91% profit. But the rest of the months in September were bearish, obviously. If we take a look at October, it's mostly bullish. November is mostly bullish, and December is mostly bullish. So what we would be expecting here is a massive move to the upside, especially considering the fact that this is election year, and one of the candidates is super bullish on Bitcoin, which is obviously good for Bitcoin. Now, this is also coming from Titan of Crypto. I believe the first post was coming from him as well. If we open up this chart here, we can see that he's calculated the distance between the tops and the bear market bottoms, which we also did on our Twitter page. Feel free to check that out. And what he's also calculated is the distance between the halving and when the run-up starts. So in 2020, this took approximately 150 days for this to play out. And then in 2024, we're sitting at roughly 146 days, I believe. When was this posted? September 10th. So right now we're sitting at 150 days essentially. So is the takeoff going to occur right now? We don't know. But we're definitely getting closer to that stage, because lots of people are in disbelief. Lots of people are saying Bitcoin is going back down to zero. And this is exactly what we want to hear if we're looking to buy the dips and we're looking to, set ourselves up for a nice uptrend. So let's start looking at your comments. Okay, the first one was Eagled. Let's take a look at Eagled. There we go. So I do hold Eagled coins, and I am still bullish on the project. I haven't sold, and I'm not planning to sell. In fact, this is a very good buying opportunity right now, because we are printing a higher low in this instance. We haven't retraced back down to the September 2023 top. We're only up 12% from there. So this could still technically be your wave 2. You're looking at a wave 3 here, wave 4, and then wave 5. Are we going back up to the previous all-time high? I would say that's very likely, in my opinion. And then are we going to something like $700, $900? That would depend on the wave 3 and how bullish wave 3 is going to be. Because if Eagle continues to underperform throughout the next few months, then we can't be expecting these big numbers from Eagle just because it hasn't been performing well. So we can't really go against the odds and set up some buy limit orders at $1,000. On the contrary, we have projects like Injective and Near Protocol that have been performing very well. Therefore, we can expect them to perform well within the next 3 to 6 months. But for projects like Polkadot, Eagle, we have to be more conservative because we don't want to set ourselves in a trap where we're expecting something that is not going to happen. Okay, so be very careful, and as always, make sure to take profits along the way. But as of right now, it looks good. We're back testing this previous resistance as support over here. We covered this on the Eagle video that we did a few weeks ago, I believe. So that's a good entry point over here. As long as we hold this, we should be good to go. If we drop below the yellow trend line and we lose the October low from 2023, that is going to be a massive red signal. But I don't believe that is going to be happening unless we have some sort of a black swan event. Jupiter. Let's take a look at Jupiter. And let's open up Jupiter on the CoinMarketCap. So $1 billion market cap. I believe this is on Binance and yeah, OKX, Gate.io, Kraken. So feel free to take a look at Jupiter. Of course, do your own research into the project. I personally don't own any Jupiter tokens. Okay, so this is quite. Is this the same one that I have? I don't think this is the same one. Unless they had a token migration, which I don't think is the case. Hold on, let me double check. Finance. Okay, let's search it up over here. It's gonna be way easier. Jupiter. Okay. There we go. Let's go with. Okay, so this is the correct one. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So we can identify a support level over here. And this is sitting at 69 cents. That is a really good buying opportunity. And I would say in general right now, it's still okay to buy. We're very close to our local bottoms from the summer of 2024. We also have a descending resistance trend line over there. And we can add another resistance trend line over there. So the upper trend line needs to be broken in order for us to start, setting up targets to the upside, because this has been something that kept us down in May, in July. So we want to break above that resistance level so that we can see that the trend is being reversed. And right now, obviously, since April 2024, we've been in a downtrend. The fact that we did not break back down to these levels from early 2024 is good. That is definitely a good sign. Now, based on the Fibonacci retracement, we could be looking at $3 here. That's our 1.618 target. And for that, of course, we do need to break above this all-time high. And that's sitting at $1.80. Once we're able to do that, we can start targeting these extension levels. So the 1.272, the 1.414, and then the 1.618. Right now, this is a good buying opportunity. If I was looking to get into Jupiter, this is where I would be getting in. If we take a smaller fractal here from the bottom in September this year or right now, to the top in July 2024, we're looking at $1.53 for your technical target. That's more a midterm trade that you can take a look at. So that covers Jupiter. 1 week time frame chart for Moonriver looks bullish from Elijah Oluwagbemiga. Hopefully I said that right. Let's take a look. let's pull up Moonriver over here. Yeah, the weekly looks good. That's what we've been talking about for the past few months. The weekly doesn't look bad compared to some other projects that are dumping below their October lows from 2023. Moonriver looks very, very good. A little bit of coffee. So the idea is we want to be printing higher lows and higher highs, and that's precisely what's happening over here. So we had this high, we broke above it. Now with the next move to the upside, we obviously want to print a higher high. So the target that we could be looking at is $48, which we already got to, and $87.90. That is the second fib level. And what happened over here is we essentially landed in the golden pocket, which is between the 0.5 and the 0.618. And the Fibonacci is set up from the bottom in October 2023 to the top in August 2022. And we came back into this area over here, and that is, of course, a bullish sign because a retracement to the golden pocket is always healthy. From there, if you continue an uptrend, then we have no reasons to believe that this is going to be dumping below the October lows unless there's something specific that happens with the project or the team that causes the price to dump. Welcome everyone who has joined the live stream. Make sure to leave a like, and you can send in your request if you want me to take a look at an altcoin for you or review a project in general. And make sure to take a look at the Patreon that we have linked down below in the description. You can get access to all of my content for absolutely free for 7 days. So you can take a look at my portfolios and our trade alerts, our podcast episodes, our exit strategies, and then you can decide for yourself whether you want to stick around or not. So once again, the link is down below in the description. So in terms of Moonriver, there is not a lot to say. This is looking like a good wave 2. Again, if we apply the Elliott wave structure here, wave 1, wave 2, we're looking for wave 3, wave 4, and then hopefully wave 5 takes us to somewhere above $200. But that's speculation. We'll see how the Polkadot 2.0 update plays out once all of the key steps are rolled out and the key updates are rolled out into or on the blockchain. We should see the effects of the newly revised system from the parachain system that they're currently on. And if you're interested in that, feel free to take a look at the Polkadot 2.0 video that we just did recently on the channel. And moving next, what do we have? Elorum, how are you doing, my friend? It's very nice to see you as always. Okay. Shrapnel, Gods Unchained, Sleeve, and Heroes of Mavia. Sorry for more than one request. Went hard on gaming as its sector that has really dropped down recently. Thanks from United Kingdom. Okay, so Gods Unchained and Sleeve and Heroes of Mavia. So we can't take a look at all of them, my friend, but we'll take a look at one that I haven't heard. So Shrapnel, we covered Shrapnel in the previous live stream. You can check that out. Gods Unchained. I'm not sure if I did Gods Unchained. $55 million market cap. Okay, they essentially listed at the top of the previous bull market. They have a Coinbase listing, which is nice, OKX and Crypto.com. Those are powerful listings. So that's always a good sign. And a free-to-play tactical card game that gives players true ownership of their in-game items, led by the former game director of Magic the Gathering. Arena, the game focusing on competitive play, which means players must strategically outsmart their opponents by building decks that are able to combat a wide variety of tactics. Essentially an NFT card game. But to be honest, all of them look so similar to me, and I don't see why one would be better than the other. I guess it's going to be all about marketing and accessibility. But even without looking too much at the chart, I mean, it's obvious that this is a good buying opportunity. Let's open up. I want to make sure I have the right one. Okay, let's take a look at the OKX chart. And let's go to the weekly. I mean, it's not a horrible chart. The fact that we are in this sort of sideways channel is really good. Okay. And every time you come back down to the lower part of the block, you have a good entry point. And every time you get to the top of the block, you have a good area to take profits. Now, with the next breakout, or with the next touch of the resistance, is that going to be the final touch before the, the breakout that we're going to have? Or are we going to continue within the realms of this pattern for, the next few months until we break out at some point in 2025? I don't know. But just looking at the chart, this is a good buying opportunity. And we can add a support trend line like this. Let's change the color of that one to yellow. And you can see that we had a touch all the way back in June 2023, which is our bear market bottom. And the second touch was here in July 2024. Okay. Yeah, that pretty much covers. Well, let's set up a fib just so we can at least have an idea. And again, this is when the project was listed, so I don't know what the circulating supply looks like. Okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so make sure to take a look at the tokenomics of the project and make sure you know what the vesting schedule looks like, because if there have been a lot of tokens that were dumped into the circulation, then it's possible that we're not going back up to the same all-time high prices due to the fact that now we have so many tokens in circulation that it's going to take a lot of money to get the tokens price back to, $7. Make sure you understand that. But if we set up a Fibonacci retracement here, we can see a massive resistance level, which is the 0.618 at $1.40. And then you have the 1.272 at $20.62. Now, what we can do is we can go to the coin perspective. And we can do God's Unchained. And let's say we set up a $7 target. That's going to be a 39x, a $2.2 billion market cap. Now, if we go to the market cap here, we can see the market cap was sitting at $170 million when we were sitting at $7. So the circulating supply absolutely got diluted, because this time around, for us to get to $7, we're going to need $2.2 billion of market cap. And if we take a look at the market cap chart, you can see that we're very close to the previous all-time high, which is not the same for the price action chart. So I don't know if I want to get into something like this, to be honest with you. But that's just me. If you're super bullish on the project, by all means, do your research and get into it. Yeah, I'm not sure why my StreamYard is acting up. Okay, so we covered that. Yeah, sorry, we can take a look at all of the coins, Jack. Let's cover Theta. Also, Theta has been performing quite well. Look at Theta. Just like Moonriver, it's printing a higher low. We're doing everything we need to be doing. So I'm bullish on Theta. I think reaching the previous all-time high is possible, but I think getting to $20/$30 is also a very there's a very good chance that we're going to get that. And a $20 billion market cap for Theta is not going to be too much, in my opinion. So we got to 13, or was it? Yeah, around $15 in the previous bull market. So now I think with the wave 3, we're going to get back up to the same all-time high price, retracement after that, and then wave 5, the final wave, the blow-off top for Theta. In terms of buying, again, we're sitting at the bottom of this wave here. If we go even a little deeper, you can still dollar cost average, but for the most part, I think this wave has extinguished itself. 75% correction. You know, how much more downside is there really for Theta? Look at the RSI. It has recovered back to its September 2023 values. The stochastic is sitting in the oversold like we were back in May 2023, which was a nice setup for the uptrend that we got into March 2024. I mean, it's really simple. If the token would have been sitting up here like it was in March, I was telling people not to buy in. Whatever chart we were looking at, I was telling you guys this is not a very good area to be buying in because we were sitting through this entire bear market. You had a lot of time to buy in, but now you want to get in when it's sitting at a massive, overextension from the 20 EMA on the weekly. Don't buy in at that price. And then we had a correction. Obviously, now it's a much better opportunity to get into Theta. So if you were buying for some reason at these local tops from March 2024, make sure to get in right now so you can bring down that average buy-in price, because that's the whole point. The lower the average, the more potential profit you could have. So just to reiterate, Theta is bullish, and I'm bullish on Theta. I am doing great. I'm doing great, my friend. And we're going to be doing great and even better when the markets start recovering towards the end of the year. By the way, one thing I forgot to show you guys is this over here. So this is the expectations from the markets for the next FOMC meeting. Let me just remove that. So as you can see, we're expecting an 85%, or there's an 85% chance for a 25 basis points cut, and there's a 15% chance for a 50 basis points cut. So obviously, I'm going to be leaning towards the majority of the market, because usually what the majority are expecting is in fact what happens. So we're expecting a cut, we're going to get that cut, and then we're definitely going to be getting a cut in November, and we're likely to get a cut in December. The Fed is still intact with their initial plan for 3 cuts in 2024. As always, you have to ignore all of the white noise around these events. You have to look at the data. You have to look at the market expectations, and that's it. Because Jerome Powell has played this double-sided game of making it seem like they're not going to cut. Maybe they'll cut, but maybe not. But maybe we have to look at the data, but maybe the data is going to get better. So if you ignored all of that and you didn't trade based on what he said, and you just waited for this whole thing to play out, look, we're getting a cut, and this is when the money printing is going to go back into a full throttle mode, as they say. And of course, the devaluation of the US dollar is beneficial to all of us holding whatever financial assets we may be holding, because they're going to be getting more, they're going to be going up in value against the US dollar. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So let's take a look at, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all the comments, guys, not going to lie. So I'm going to try to focus on the patrons first. GameSwift. Let's take a look at GameSwift. I don't think this is listed on a, yeah, this is not listed on an exchange that I have. I don't have Bybit. I don't have MEXC. And this is a $4.6 million market cap, and the ticker is GSwift. Okay, the chart does not look very good. I'm not going to lie. So we can remove all of the drawings there at the top because we don't really need them right now. So let's see what this correction. Oh my God, this is a 92% correction. That is a lot. That is a lot. But we haven't lost the September 2023 level. And that is the most important thing out of this whole correction. That's the most important thing. So even if we come back down to 0.046 cents and we bounce off of that, that's still a good sign. That is still a good sign. But a 92% correction. The only reason why it's not a big deal, I think, is because it's a low cap. So the market cap got to 50 million, and right now we're down to 4. It is a hefty correction. So I'm not sure if there was anything specific with the project that happened. And using the... Okay. Yeah, I don't see any. I was hoping there'd be some comments on GameSwift and what happened, but I don't think there's anything like that. But if you know, if something happened, let me know in the comments. But in terms of buying, again, if you're sitting at something like this and you're bullish on the project, you definitely want to be getting into it. That's all I'm saying. You're back in this support area. You want to be getting in when there's blood on the streets, when you're sitting at a 90% correction. Of course, if you're sure that this project can recover, if you're bullish on the project, again, 92% correction. Do your own research. Make sure you know where you're putting your money before you lose your money, because the point is to at least preserve what you invest. And then, of course, we can take a look at our profits. But if you buy this and then it goes to zero, it happens to all of us, but we have to try to be more careful. Good evening, starting from the beginning and using as a podcast while having a walk. I appreciate that. Make sure, yeah, I'm trying to read everything if we're taking a look at posts or if we're taking a look at any chart. I'm trying to say everything out loud, so when people don't look at the screen, they can still understand what's going on. But thank you, Aloha, or Aloha Alios. I think that's the way you say your name. If not, you can correct me in the comments. So in terms of GameSwift, if the project is still active and everything's fine, then this is a very good entry point. Let's take a look at Abhiram. So holding Ondo worth for upcoming months, or is holding Ondo worth for upcoming months. It has 140% unlocks of its supply on January 2025. Ondo versus OM, please and thanks. So I think we talked about this with Ondo, and we looked at this specific unlock in January. And what I advised is you can get into Ondo before that major unlock happens in 125 days on January 18th. 134% of the circulating supply is going to be unlocked. That is crazy. That is going to be a massive, massive unlock. So make sure you either get out of the project by that point, or you just get ready to sit through a massive correction, because I think there will be quite a bit of selling pressure coming before January even. So I would say December-ish, try to get out when the price is going to be overextended. Of course, that's not financial advice. And OM Mantra. So Mantra is something that I hold as well. Well, I don't hold Ondo, but I do hold Mantra. And the tokenomics here are much better. As you can see, we have 842 million in circulating and 888 in total supply. And they're not having any major unlocks from what I know. Nothing like nothing like Ondo, at least. So let's go to CryptoRank, and let's take a look at Mantra, and let's take a look at their vesting schedule. Okay, they don't have the vesting schedule here. Well, anyway, they have 94.9% of the max supply unlocked. So the vesting schedule isn't even that important, to be honest with you, because this is pretty much the entire supply out. We're not going to have a lot of token dilution. So I'm totally fine with Mantra. With Ondo, on the other hand, yeah, I would probably get out sometime in December. Well, like whenever there is the next rally and the next peak, I would try to get out at that point and then reallocate the money into a different project. But both projects are in a very bullish niche. Both projects are in the RWA narrative, so I see no issues with the projects going, forward in the next 5 to 10 years. But in the short term, Mantra is looking like the better option. And if we take a look at Ondo, I think Ondo's market cap is okay. They're pretty similar. They're quite similar in terms of their market cap, but in terms of the tokenomics, Mantra is the better one. Ventuslav Malev, can you take a look at Say? Let's take a look at Say. I believe it had a rally a few weeks ago. Or maybe I'm wrong. We don't have Say. I don't think we have Say here, so I'm going to have to search it up over here. Okay, let's go to the daily chart. So we can remove this fib. And this resistance block played out quite nicely that we added based on this little trading range from December 2023. So we came back down to this level as support, then we lost it, retested as resistance over here, and then a second retest of resistance over here. Is it possible we're in some sort of a falling wedge here? Maybe. Let's see. Well, not really. Look, it looks more like a channel down pattern, to be honest, than anything. Which still is bullish, because a channel down pattern usually has a break to the upside at some point. And we have 2 touches of resistance and 2 touches of support, so both trend lines are valid. And again, just like pretty much every single other chart we looked at, it's sitting at its almost bottom local prices. So if you're looking to get into these projects, now is the time to be getting into these projects. Unless you have something like this and it's sitting over here, which is at the all-time high, then maybe reconsider. But for the most part, it's looking like it's a good entry point. Ross, hey there, my friend. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Can you please do Arkham? Sure. So this is an AI data aggregator project that I hold. We got into this, I believe, at 60 cents or something on Patreon. Let's see if we have this over here. We don't. Let's pull up the Arkham chart. Okay, there we go. And look at this. A nice double bottom pattern here. We're bouncing off this purple support block, which is something that we were hoping the price was going to do. And this was a really good entry point between 99 cents and 94 cents. I did dollar cost average a bit at $1. into my already pre-existing positions. Our entry was at 68 cents. There we go. We entered at 68 cents, I believe, back in February in 2024. And it has performed quite well ever since. We did see a retracement, of course, but for the most part, if you zoom out, the chart looks very good. We're nowhere close to our October 2023 prices. And, it's just a question of patience. And in terms of buying right now, again, very good buying opportunity. You're sitting at local bottom prices. So I see no reason, like if you're planning to buy into this, I don't know why you wouldn't, unless you're sure or certain that the price is going to go lower. Which if it does, you should always have some spare cash on the side, and you should have some buy limit orders set up in advance. Like this wick that we saw on Binance almost got down to the 75 cents support that I gave you. That was based on this top from December 2023. So that was a really good entry point if you manage to, get in at that point. Which of course, it's hard to predict, but if you set up those buy limit orders based on previous lows/highs, you have a really good chance of getting into the project. So Arkham is looking like it's a very good buy at the moment. The market cap is quite low, $237 million. And the tokenomics are not very good, I would say, in terms of the total unlocked amount. Let's see. Okay, so the upcoming unlock is going to be what? In 1,036 days? Interesting. Is this accurate? Is this accurate, chat? 1,036 days for the next unlock? Yeah, so we have 26% unlocked. Okay. Okay, I have to sign in. Okay, I'll have to double check this. Because if this is the case, then this is very good. If the supply is going to be locked in at 26%. Can you see Near? We're going to do a separate video on Near over the weekend, but just a quick little look at Near protocol. Okay, so we are in a bullish continuation pattern here. So this is a falling wedge, which we can add in like that. Just change the way the trend lines are set up. So a bullish continuation pattern is when we get into a pattern that leads to the continuation of the overall trend. Right now we are in an uptrend. This is a retracement. So this is just a bullish continuation pattern. And hopefully we're going to see a breakout from here. And the minimal target is going to be over here at $6.18. And then you have your second fib level here at $8, which is going to be your next target after that. So Near protocol, very bullish on this project. I'm trading for my friend, and like he entrusted me with trading for him, and I bought a bunch of Near for him because this is one of the best projects in the space right now. Is Polygon still a buy? If it's below 40 cents, it's definitely a buy without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, they changed the ticker, right? I think now it's called Pol. Okay. This is going to be annoying for charting Polygon Matic now. Okay, it's still the same. It's still the same thing essentially. But you can see we are sitting at our historic lows here from June 2022. So this is a good buying opportunity, 40 cents, even 42, even 45 cents. It is quite cheap in my opinion, and it's a very good opportunity for you to bring down the average cost if you were entering in 2021 above $2 even. You definitely want to be buying right now, and you definitely want to bring down the average. And you can see we have this descending resistance trend line, which hopefully is going to be broken within the next 6 months. And that will cause a massive, massive surge, hopefully taking us to $5. That is the hope. If not, we'll go based on what Bitcoin is doing, and we'll take profits earlier. But as of right now, I'm looking at $5 minimum. So $5 would be an 11x. That would be a $15.7 billion market cap, which doesn't even seem that crazy. $15.7 billion for a project like Polygon Matic that has so many huge partnerships. It is, it's going to be easy, is all I'm trying to say. Okay, so Cliche Guevara. Can you check out Casper or Jupiter? So Jupiter, we looked at Jupiter at the start of the live stream. So make sure to go to the beginning and take a look at the review for Jupiter. We can take a look at Casper. $147 million market cap. So there's quite a bit of token dilution we can see because, quite a bit of token dilution. Because we're already close to we even broke above in May. Last year, we broke above the all-time high market cap. But this is available on OKX, Bybit, Gate.io. And if we pull out the CSPR chart, there we go. Let's take a look at that one. Okay, so for some reason, there is a massive dump going on. Is this? Yeah, that is the accurate price. So I'm not sure what happened, but this is not a good sign. Full disclosure, this is not a good sign. So for some reason, we dropped below our June 2022 low. We had this, long-term accumulation. For some reason, the price decided it needed to go below that. So I'm not sure if there was some event, some announcement, something happened with the project that caused this massive sell-off. This started in June, and we haven't seen really anything since. Let's set up a fib with the targets to the downside so we can see what we can be expecting. So we even dropped below the 1.618 here. Your next target is going to be the second fib level at 0.0098. The question is, do you want to be buying into something like this, or do you want to wait for reversal? Do you want to see what's going on with the project before you buy in? But this is definitely looking bearish in my opinion. Like, we got out of Cosmos. Well, we haven't yet, but we unstaked our Cosmos coins on Patreon. I let everyone know that I'm unstaking because of the fact that we lost such a major support level from 2022, and that is not a good sign. So I would stay away from a chart like this. Doesn't mean it's a bad project. Doesn't mean that, it can't make money in the future. But as of right now, there are much better options. Louise. So we're going to do separate videos for Gala and Algorand on Patreon, my friend. We're going to do a separate video for that. All right. Yeah, take a look at the live stream. And if you have anyone joining later on, you can go back and watch this live stream as a recording. It's going to be uploaded to my channel immediately after we're done. So we're going to take a look at, I think we have a few mistakes, or not a few mistakes, a few comments that we haven't gone through yet. A maker. $1.4 billion market cap. Okay, seems okay. The chart seems to be doing quite fine. Taking a look at the weekly. Okay, so it's not a bad chart. Not a bad chart at all. 62% correction here. The bear market was a 91% correction. Then from there, we went up 700%. We were sitting at $4,000. Right now, we're sitting at $1,600. So we almost got down to the 0.5. I think that's still a possibility. So $1,430 is going to be a good buying price. But in general, this is looking like a very, very good chart. Let's take a look at the oscillators. The RSI, the stochastic are sitting at good buying values. The stochastic is in the oversold. And you have this golden pocket that you haven't retraced to yet. Maybe you won't. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily every single time, but this does happen. And this would be a very, very healthy sign for us. And historically, if you look at this block, we've held it as support in 2021. We held it as resistance in 2022 and even in 2023 before that breakout. So when you keep running into something as resistance, you break above it and you come back down to retest it as support. If that happens, that's a very, very bullish thing. But Casper is doing, or sorry, not Casper, but Maker is doing well. I would say this is a good buying opportunity, but I would not go all in because there's a chance we might come back down to this green block if we see another correction on Bitcoin's part that may lead to a further retracement if you're looking at altcoins. And then we're looking at $10,000 as our 1.272 target. That's a 527% to the upside. Yeah, that's just a quick update on Maker. And Vchain, let's take a look at Vchain real quick, because we're about to end the live stream in a few minutes, guys. Okay, so with Vchain, it is similar to what Moonriver is doing, and to a lesser extent, what Near Protocol is doing. Obviously, Near had a more bullish move to the upside into March. Vchain had an okay move to the upside. We're still printing a higher low. And we are in this, I can clearly see here a nice falling wedge that we're hopefully going to break out of at some point. And again, in terms of buying, once you see something in a position like this, you definitely want to be getting into it, especially considering that Vchain could break out of this pattern and potentially have a 43% move to the upside. If you want to target the, the area around this touch at 3 cents, that could be your technical target from the pattern. All we have to do is break out above the resistance. But again, Vchain came back down to its 2023 values on the RSI. The stochastic is quite low. I mean, across the board, altcoins have reset. They've recovered. So now we're getting ready for that next leg up in the bull market. So Vchain is a good buy. And Inspect. Let's take a look at Inspect. And that'll be the last one for this live stream. So I believe I remember looking at something like this before. Serves as a cornerstone of Web3, introducing an innovative Layer 2 solution specifically crafted to enrich user experiences across several ecosystems like Twitter. As the inaugural Layer 2 infrastructure for X, Inspect seamlessly grants users access to a comprehensive suite of meticulously designed products and tools. These resources are dedicated to offering invaluable insights and essential functionalities, empowering users to navigate the dynamic realms of crypto and NFT. Interesting. I believe I saw something like this before, probably on a live stream a few months ago. So we have 16% out in circulation. We have to re-verify this information because coin market cap usually gets these things wrong all the time. Did the website not load up properly? There we go. So if X actually spoke about this, this is big. A layer 2 for X. The layer 2 built for X. I mean, if this is true, this is absolutely crazy. But let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so there was quite a bounce here. In August 2024, we saw 5x almost. Wow. But no, obviously, there you go. In February, around 6 months ago, we did some TA on this and we broke down from that pattern. As you can see. And I don't know what about the tokenomics, because that would be a pretty important factor as well. But that's a resistance block you can take a look at if you're looking to take some profits in the next few months. So we have this block set up between 10 cents and 6 or 0.067 cents. We are printing a higher low, which is good to see. So let's hope for the next move to go past this local top around 5 cents. And we can add a Fibonacci retracement. We still haven't broken above the 0.236, so technically speaking, it's not a valid fib yet. But once we do, we have to target this first fib level. And after we break above that, the 1.618 is going to be your technical target. All of the 3 extension levels are within the realms of this block that I outlined based on the touch from May and also May in 2024. But generally speaking, good buying opportunity. The market cap is very low. 3.3 million is extremely low, guys. Thanks for that. I bought into CSPR in the last cycle. Been waiting for a reversal for 4 years. That is a long time, my friend. Okay, so we covered everything. Louise, I mentioned that we're going to do Algorand and Gala for patrons specifically. And again, anyone who hasn't checked out our Patreon, make sure to do that. The link is down below in the description. I can quickly show you what we're talking about. So if you go to the collection sections over here, you can see some of the stuff that we do on Patreon, which is trade alerts, resources, Bitcoin technical analysis, low cap gems. We have around 91 low cap gems, Brainbuster podcast sessions, and exit strategies, among other things that are not listed as a specific collection or a separate collection. So make sure to take a look at that. We have a 7-day free trial for the double top tier. You can get access to all of the content for free, absolutely free for 7 days. And that's pretty much it. I want to thank you all for joining this live stream, guys. Very much appreciated. I'm going to add that to my watch list as well. Hopefully you all enjoyed the metrics that I showed you at the start of the live stream. If you missed that, make sure to go back after this video or this live stream is up as a video on the channel. Stay safe and take care.